speaking of training day, that dynasty day is dead, dog. We don't roll like that no more. We saw yesterday something that we've never seen over the last handful of years, and you've just referenced this. We are seeing something that we have never seen in my lifetime. I believe it's been 44 years since we've gone this many years without a repeat NBA champion. And not just a repeat NBA champion, these cats ain't getting out the first round. Or the second round, I beg your pardon. They're not getting out the second round nowadays, okay? Like, that's how hard it is. So to what would you attribute the difficulty, the recent difficulty? Now, and listen, every year is its own thing. I mean, because you could pick a couple of them, all right? Let's do it, all right? And maybe this is all, like, yes, it's a trend, but as I look at this list, what immediately pops in my head is, well, wait a second. There's a reason for all of them. So if I'm not mistaken, 2019, the Raptors. There's a guy that left the team after that year. Am I right? Didn't a certain dude leave after that? When he one and done? Didn't Kawhi pull a Carmelo Anthony? Ultimate hired gun. Okay, he was out. 2020. I know the Lakers and their fans hate to hear this, but that was the bubble. All right, so you can say different team the following year. Okay, 2021. Now Suns coach Mike Budenholzer's Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis got hurt, and that was the infamous. Didn't he get hurt that year? Or is that am I getting?
But he got hurt. He got hurt that year in the finals year, then came back. Remember, he came back in the finals. He missed part of the conference final.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Okay, right. So the next year.
Then came back. Yeah. Next year they just
2020. Okay,
no, it's Middleton.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at this.
Next year Middleton was hurt.
No, I'm right. But last year, so the Bucks won it in 21. Last year, Giannis got hurt. That was the infamous "it's not a failure" post-game comment. So when they lost last year, right?
Yeah, but the year after though, in the conference semifinals, they lost to the Celtics. They didn't have Middleton. Yeah. And so that was the problem. Then the Warriors beat the Celtics.
And obviously the Warriors, yes, and they had their issues this year, which are well documented.
And they lose to the Lakers. So they lose to the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, my memory's fading as I get into my. I guess you know how this is as you start to get into your.
No, I don't know how it is because I remember everything.
You're well, you know.
I don't know. Okay. I don't know what you're going through. Because I can tell you everything that happened. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
So wait. Well, help me out there. Let's not, derail this too bad. But wait, what year am I thinking about where Giannis got hurt early in the playoffs? That wasn't last year?
I thought he got hurt in 2021 in the finals. I mean, in the conference finals. He got hurt. He comes back. He missed the game maybe against Atlanta. Then he comes back in the NBA Finals, and he got healthier in the NBA Finals, and then culminating with that great Game 6, that 50-piece.
No, I'm not talking about when they won. I'm talking about when they lost the ensuing. Yes,
but he played. He played. Next year they lost to the Celtics. He played in that Game 7. They lost to them at home. They lost to the Celtics at the Garden. No Middleton.
All right, maybe I'm tripping.
Middleton was the injury.
Maybe I'm tripping.
That year.
Maybe I'm tripping. Okay, never mind.
But what's the thing, though?
Point being is that
what do they all have in common?
No,
you said there's all something in common.
No, I'm asking is there a connective thread or connective tissue, or are those just extenuating circumstances, or the situation just every year was just so different for those teams, or those teams just came back different the year after? Like, how many of those teams came back built the same way that they were built the previous year, or did they have injury bad luck? Which I don't know if I should call it bad luck because everybody has to deal with injuries. I'll get to that theme in a second when we talk about Pacers-Knicks. But injuries are part of the postseason. They always have been. They're as much of a part of the postseason as the players involved. As who's playing and who's not playing is so much a part of the story of NBA history in the playoffs. Maybe it's the teams just came back dramatically different the next year, and or they got hit with injuries.
I'm going to take injuries out of it. I'm going to take injuries out of the mix. and I'm going to say it is in the last, 5 to 8 years, it's just the power of players shifting. So players have shifted. Yeah, there's player empowerment, but there's also general manager empowerment as well. I just think Michael, I think the league is much more aggressive. The league collectively is much more aggressive than it used to be. Now there's some bad teams that just ain't, don't give a damn. They're not trying to win right now. They're trying to do that process thing. We're gonna be bad. I'm looking at you, San Antonio. I'm looking at you, Detroit. I'm looking at some of these teams that are just trying to build something. They're trying to collect assets, and then their moment's gonna come and they're gonna spring it on everybody. Okay, yeah. But think about what happened. Kawhi goes to Toronto. Toronto's a champion. Then Toronto is no longer a champion because Kawhi goes to the Clippers. Now the Clippers are thinking about a championship. And since the Clippers are thinking about a championship, now OKC says, okay, if you want to take one of our guys, you want to take Paul George and Russell Westbrook, and we're going to break this whole thing up, we're going to make you pay for it. So they become hoarders of all this draft capital as LA, the Clippers, think they're going to be championship contenders. So just like a lot of movement, players moving around, which is causing general managers to do different things. And it's creating, I know a lot of people complain about it, but what it's creating is parity. That's really what it comes down to. Because of the aggression, parity has been created. And we never had that before, never even thought about it before, because these teams, like the old guard, the people who really complain, the old guard never thought of leaving. So you'd have these groups together for a long time. The only thing that could break them up is retirement or the expansion draft or something like that. But Lakers, Magic's Lakers, Bird's Celtics, Isaiah's Pistons, Jordan's Bulls, two versions of Jordan's Bulls, 2 3-peats. Yeah, I mean, we're just not going to have that anymore. Like Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, just a different day, and I like it. I like it. By the way, not only do I like it, I love it. I love that I have no idea. In this Final Four, I know a lot of people think the Celtics are the favorites. Maybe. I have no idea who's going to win the championship this year. Can't call it. Can't call it. Dallas could win it. The Pacers could win it. I'm telling you, the Pacers could win the championship.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait a second. You're moving too fast. Okay. Old folks can't keep up with you. By the way, this would have driven me crazy. I think what I was confusing, it's been 2 years. I had the Heat loss in the back of my mind. So remember in the first round last year when they lost to the Heat when Giannis got hurt and he missed several games? That's what I was thinking about. They lost 2 playoff series since they last won the championship. Okay. So we were both right. It wasn't the next year was the one you were referencing. I was referencing last year when they lost in the first round. So that was my confusion, my mistake. I just want to clean that up. I'm sure everybody listening or watching,
when they lost last year in the first round to Miami, when they lost to a play-in team, they lost to the.
I'm not to make excuses, but Giannis was hurt. So you said you love it. That just goes back to my point about injuries playing a role in this, like for better or worse. So you said you like it this way. I actually thought Denver would repeat this year. I still thought that they were the class of the league, all the way up until they weren't. I thought they would.
Why did you think that?
Beat the Celtics in the conference at the NBA Finals. I thought they had the best player. I thought they had the best tandem. I did not the same depth as they had last year, but I didn't think that would manifest itself.
They have no depth. They have zero depth. But they have a great. They are the top heaviest team remaining in the playoffs.
They have the best starting lineup all season, but that lack of depth was not exposed until this series. Wasn't exposed until this series. Okay, Boston, fine. You want the Celtics? Fine, Michael.
No, but they have a better. But it's clear. It's clear, isn't it?
That's fine. Well, now it is. Now it is. It is now. You could not have seen this coming. coming into this series, some people may have picked Minnesota.
No,
some people may have selected Minnesota. You did not see them losing Game 7. Okay, so I'm sure some people did. I'm sure some people outside the Twin Cities picked Minnesota. I'm not gonna say nobody was picking the Timberwolves the same way that nobody was picking the Pacers. I'm not gonna say that, but you cannot have seen this coming in this way. I thought the Nuggets were better than they turned out to be. It took a team like Minnesota, the better team, to expose their obvious weaknesses. So are we done seeing dynasties, or is it, like I said, each of those 5 incidents are more individual circumstances, or because of what you said and just the way the league moves nowadays, will we never see somebody go back to back again, or anytime soon at least?
It's a dynasty. Well, here's a question for you. Do you think
dynasty? Okay, like
is that dynasty?
No, you're right. Thank you. No, you're right. Thank you for that. You're right. I think the Pistons of the '80s would say, late '80s would say it is. No, you have to, because I think that waters down the definition of dynasty. So you're right. Thank you for making that distinction. There's dynasty, and then there's back-to-back. The contemporary Warriors are a dynasty. The Spurs before them,
that's our last one,
were a dynasty.
That's our last one. Yep.
You're right. That's thank you for that distinction. Will we see somebody? Look, you ain't got to go back to back. Will we see a defending champion? It's much like the NFL. Oh no, it was the runner-up. It was the runner-up, not the.
The runner-up was a disaster.
Remember, for a long time, the runner-up was a disaster. Exactly. Yeah. But the runner-up, the people that lost the Super Bowl rarely got back. Will we see a defending NBA champion even get back to the finals in this modern NBA the way that it moves, like you're describing?
Get back to the finals, yes. Get back to the finals, I can see that. But back-to-back is going to be difficult. Dynasties, I'm going to say no. Like, I'm looking at the losers bracket, okay, this year. So OKC, and I know we'll talk about them. OKC is out of the playoffs. They're losing 6 to the Mavericks. I will, as a betting man, I will put significant capital down on their future. Their best player is 25, top 3 MVP candidate. Yeah, I think OKC will be back in the mix, and they might win a championship and make it to the finals. That wouldn't shock me at all. So the losers, it's not like the losers will never be heard from again. It's just so much competition. And Mike Malone was right. Is it over? Is it over for the Nuggets? It's not over for them. They're a championship contender. If the Wolves don't win the championship, I like the Wolves. If the Celtics don't win the championship, I still like the Celtics. So I just think it's too many good teams around to say, look out for that team. They got it over everybody else. I don't think anybody has it over anybody else. I really don't.
No. Okay. Let's take a quick break and then get to this other Game 7, man.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.